Happy 2020 New Year to you all.
Yeah, Happy New Year's to you, boo-boos.
It's not New Year's, it's New Year.
That's what I said, Happy New Year's.
No, you said New Year's. It's New Year.
Girl, look here. It was a Happy New Year before Dumpy wanted to sit up there and bomb somebody. Him?
Yes, he has kind of ruined the New Year for us.
Sure
But
did.
you know what? I'm going to try to remain optimistic.
Girl, you better get critical.
Some capacity.
I'm going to look at the reality of what's happening.
Let's just get right into it.
Just get into it.
Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Nice But Feisty. I am Mandi Nice, and I'm going to get right into my topics. I was really more hopeful before Tasha's going to cover that, so I'm just going to I'll cover some other stuff. So my first topic is speaking about the wildfires in Australia, and there are reports coming out that there's strange weather also occurring based on the wildfires, and they're actually creating their own thunderstorms, or rather lightning storms. So according to NBC News, the fires are interacting with the atmosphere and creating their own weather, including lightning, which can cause new wildfires. And they've had over 130 fires thus far. And with the conditions being as they are, when it dries out really quickly, then there's another case for more fires. And they are working very, very hard in order to try to put these wildfires out, because it is also affecting neighboring communities. They're losing power and things of that nature. So now, whereas it was only affecting the outback, the fires seemingly were able to continue on. But now that communities that can afford power are being affected, they're really working very hard to get rid of those wildfires. I'm pretty sure that they were working prior to, but now it's probably escalated to most likely a priority one, which is, when more affluent neighborhoods are affected, then, more action is put into dealing with that. So there's that. Okay. So my next topic is speaking about Julian Castro. He has now suspended his presidential run for the 2020 elections. It seems that support has slowed a bit, so he is following suit along with Kamala Harris, who is also bowed out of the 2020 presidential race. So Julian Castro is no longer in the running. And there was a very poignant joke that was made. I can't quite remember the person that stated. Yeah, so I can't think of the person's name right now. But the joke was that the Democratic debates have seemingly like, a 1990s horror film where the cast starts off very diverse, and then by the middle of the movie, basically all the black people have been killed off or somehow disappeared. So, so again, if you guys know who originally made that joke, please comment down below. If I actually find that joke again, I will make sure I put that in the edit, or I will put the originator's name in the box that's below the video. My next and last topic is speaking about Silicon Valley listening to your most intimate moments. It says that the world's biggest companies got millions of people to let temps analyze some of their sensitive recordings, and this is according to Bloomberg Business Week. They stated one of the persons that that did the study, her name is Ruth Hope Slatlis. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Couldn't believe what she was hearing. She was hired by a temp agency outside of Boston for a vague job description and basically to transcribe audio videos for Amazon.com. The job was $12 an hour, and basically they were called data associates, quote unquote data associates. They were out, basically they were subcontractors, and they after Amazon unveiled Echo, temporary employees like herself could listen in on people's conversations. And it was so I think this brings up the call for more for consumers to be able to opt out of data gathering, because when you're in your own home, there is an expectation of privacy. Yes, you purchase a device, but it is still in your home, and that your home has an expectation of privacy, and companies cannot just willy-nilly ignore the fact that you are in your own home and there are certain conversations that should be privileged amongst you and your family members, and only you and your family members, regardless if you purchase a device or not. So it's really a little jarring. They stated that these microphones are built into the phones, smart watches, TVs, fridge, SUVs, virtually everything. And a consulting firm by the name of Juniper Research estimates by 2023 that the global annual market for smart speakers will reach 11 billion and 7.4 billion voice controlled will be, in the world, basically. So again, there should be a cap, or even just companies should not automatically think that they can just collect your data. It really should be on the onus of the company to get you to opt in. Of course, companies don't like to get an opt-in. They would rather say, oh, well, you can just opt out. But at this particular time, there is no opt-out. So therefore, we as consumers need to say, no, you need to get a buy-in. We bought the device only to do this. We did not buy the device for you to spy on us and to listen into our private, most intimate conversations. And then, of course, some people argue that, that the device goes both ways. You should, if you don't want the device listening on your intimate conversations, then you shouldn't buy the device. But the fact of the matter is, we buy the device because of a convenience. We don't expect that device is there to spy on us and to give our most intimate conversations to a company. For a company, what use do you have to listen in other than that you're just being a spy, that you're like super freaking nosy, and you probably, it is jarring to me, because the same people that run these companies would not want those devices to spy in on them. So in this case, for example, if you are a company owner and you're creating these devices and you don't want those devices to spy on you, then you should understand that your customers don't want those devices to spy on them. So the fact of the matter is, it's just, there should be a level of expectation to understand that your private conversation shouldn't be be able to be listened to by other people outside of your home. And that's just my 2 cents on it. So thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Nice But Feisty. Take it away, Tasha. All right. You already know whose turn it is. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I really only got one topic, and this topic is gonna take me some time to get into, okay? So, buckle up your seatbelts, okay? All right. My topics is a little bit, more important. I'm not saying that her topics weren't important. I'm just saying that this one is the big deal because I am talking about the Iranian strike, or rather the drone that was actually dropped at the Baghdad International Airport that was authorized by Donald Trump. And the simple fact of the matter is, it killed Major General Soleimani, and he is one of he was considered the architect of nearly every significant operation by Iranian intelligence and military forces over the last 2 decades. So this is a real big blow to the Iranian government, and I don't know what Donald Trump was thinking when he authorized this particular strike. The simple fact of the matter is, before Donald Trump was voted in as president of the United States of America, he made several comments, and it's really interesting because we can document this guy's pretty much his life back several decades on Donald Trump. So we have there's video out there. You can go Google it yourself. What did Donald Trump say about Obama and Iran? I'll summarize it for you, but you can go check out the videos for yourself. It's everywhere. Donald Trump said that Obama, because he was having such a hard time being president, that he was going to start a war with Iran because he was not a good negotiator, and that he was doing all of that to distract people of how bad of a job that Obama was doing in his presidency. Well, Obama didn't do any of that stuff. So honestly, the fact of the matter is, Donald Trump was basically laying out the plan that he would do if he was president, and he was having a hard time at it. And that's what he's doing right now. Donald Trump has just been impeached by the House. The article, because he only has one article against him, unless the House decides to put war crimes on top of the articles of impeachment. Not sure if they're going to have the guts to do that or the courage in order to do that, because this should be considered as a war crime, because killing a top official of a sovereign country, because Iran is still considered a sovereign nation. So killing a top general of a sovereign nation without Congress approval, which killing someone at the top is an act of war, and he, Donald Trump, did not get permission, i.e. authorization from Congress in order to act in this manner. Therefore, it is a war crime. Therefore, he did not follow procedure. I just, it's like, when is he really going to be held accountable for his actions? The fact of the matter is, he's doing what he said Obama would do, and Obama never did any of that stuff. He's done stuff that Obama would never do, and barely got impeached off of the one article that he got, which was abuse of power. Like, for real, are you kidding me? And it's just like, I guess now I see why they call him Teflon Don. Like, because all this bad stuff that he does just seems to not be, taken. He's not held accountable for any of the bad stuff that he's done. I don't know what that is. What he did was an act of war. Congress is supposed to approve any act of war. That did not happen. So legally, Donald Trump did not do. He basically did something illegal. And it should be added on to the articles of impeachment. But are they going to do that? I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think so. Because it just don't seem like the Democrats really want to hold this dude accountable. Because they could have got him out a long time ago. The fact that, they impeached Bill Clinton off of getting head in the office, and that was 2 consenting adults. I don't. And this dude, you know, still got 20 plus women talking about, you know, he sexually assaulted them, and Donald Trump is just not being held accountable for anything. It's really crazy. But I will say this before I get too much on a tangent. Iran has allies. The United States of America is losing allies. 2 of Iran's allies are China and Russia. Now, this may be his way to sit up there. One, it could be just a distraction because he's been impeached by the House. I'm talking about Donald Trump here. One, it could be a distraction because he's doing an awful job because he hasn't been able to renegotiate the nuclear deal with Iran, which all up until this point, Iran was still not enriching uranium. Guess what now they're doing now? As of this act of war, they are now saying, you know, no, they're not going to be held to the deal at all anymore. And all of those nations that were still, you know, dealing with Iran based off of that deal that Obama put in place, it's kaput now. It's gone. It's bye-bye. That's what it is. So now, we might be at all, you know, this might be another multi-country, multi-continental war. And honestly, how I need some people to realize, how would you feel if, even though we don't like him, say for instance, if Michael Bolton or what is his name? The dude that looked like the, you know, the with the mustache, the white mustache, I forget his name. What if he was killed? And then now America would want to retaliate because that's an official, high-ranking official that has been killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like, and I really think this is just an out or an extension of white supremacy to me, because it's like, you feel like because a white person's able to do it, then they should be let off the hook, or they shouldn't be held accountable for doing bad stuff. That ain't cool. That is the whole problem with white supremacy. It's saying, if you have white skin, you don't hold me accountable. Donald Trump is truly living that, like, all day long, every day, because he is not being held accountable. That's just it. And I don't know if Iran is going to be able to say, no, we don't care if you have white skin, you will be held accountable. We'll see. That's it, kitty boo-boos. I'm done. Bye.
Well, thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Nice But Feisty with Mandy Nice and
And Tasha Feisty. Ooh, ooh.